Hello everybody, and thank you very much for your time today. Today I'm coming to you from Santee, South Carolina. Yes. Alright guys, I'm coming to you from, as you've seen in the thumbnail, the Santee outlets. And this is definitely one of my favorite places to visit here in South Carolina. I love the fact that this used to be an outlet village type mall. I grew up with this type of outlet center in Flemington in New Jersey, and also we did have another one in Jackson, so the Jackson outlets. But the premium outlets and Liberty Village in Flemington in Hunterdon County, those were the outlets that I grew up going to with my parents and doing some back to school shopping as a husky child looking for those Levi's jeans. But yeah, what I wanted to do is bring you the history, and actually not so much the history. I don't know all the ins and outs of this mall. It's not very well documented, but I at least wanted to bring you the images as it sits today. Now, this property supposedly is going to be converted to a casino at some point. I don't know the ins and outs of it, so please don't rake me over the coals in the comments. But I believe this was supposed to be part of the legislation for 2026 for casino gambling to finally be legalized in South Carolina. I don't think it went through, and I think they pushed it to next year, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Either way, I really am fascinated by this property, and I want you guys that are local to the Santee area, Walterboro, Somerton, let's see where else, all along 95 here, Holly Hill. I know you guys went here back in the day, so tell me about all the stores. Now, this is actually part 2 of the video. We're going to have a part 1. I'm kind of going to do it in reverse. The first part, I've got to chop up the video a little bit. It came out a little bit weird. We're actually using the potato cam at the moment. I wanted to get a little bit of a warmer video. I didn't want to have my iPhone as part of the production. I wanted it to have a little bit of a VHS type look, and so the potato cam is only 8.9 megapixels, and just taking some shots with the iPhone there. Beautiful, beautiful staircase going up to the second level, and this is the only building on the property that has actually 2 levels, and it is fully rotted out. This is definitely not a safe place to be up on the second floor, and obviously you see I'm not on the second floor. I'm just walking around on the concrete, and it's very sad to see how much vandalism has happened at this property through the years. So definitely, shame on the folks that have done the vandalism. More than anything, it's actually Mother Nature that has taken over this property. The roof has caved in. All of the trusses have basically collapsed through the years. And the rain and the weather just continues to beat down on this property. Now, for those that vandalized, broke all the glass, did a lot of spray painting, obviously, again, shame on those folks. It really sucks that that occurred. I've only been on this property once when there has been somebody else. There was actually a company that was training German Shepherds on the property. They were placing different items throughout the property and having the German Shepherds find them. And then also actually did meet a county sheriff on the property, and I was told that it was okay for me to film. And so definitely don't want to mention names, but definitely thank you so much for being cool and saying, yeah, you know what, you're okay to go ahead and film. So definitely appreciate that. And obviously, as you see here, we're not doing anything bad on the property. We're just documenting this before it's gone, and supposedly this is going to be demolished. There has been some articles that have been in the newspaper. I thought it was supposed to get demolished a little bit earlier in 2026, but it's still sitting here. So as we continue to walk through, you'll see some areas that actually are in decent shape. You'll see some areas that are really bad. I'm actually surprised that there really isn't a lot of crazy mold. I've seen so many properties through the years that mold has really taken over, especially how humid and damp it is here in South Carolina. I'm really surprised that these buildings don't reek of mold, and there are some parts that obviously do have some really bad mold. But all of the work that was done here, I believe this mall was made in the late 80s, so go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong here. I would love to get that cast iron railing. Absolutely beautiful. All of the doors are kicked in. And these idiots, they came onto the property and broke every window. There might be 2 windows in the entire place that are actually still intact. And you see Route 95, some of the cars going up and down, north and south. It's actually a good exit here in Santee. There is a Starbucks. There are a few really nice hotels. So if you are traveling down to Florida, definitely think about stopping in Santee after you stop in Florence and check out Buc-ee's. Also, when you're north of Florence, make sure that you stop by south of the border. And I know a lot of folks don't like south of the border because it's kind of old and dingy. But for those of you that are from the Dead Mall community and like abandoned places, the south of the border stop will definitely be intriguing to you. So definitely check it out. All of the windows blown out, all of the blown in insulation just laying on the ground. There's very few signs left over, by the way. There's going to be one store we're going to see in a few moments. We'll see Aileen or Eileen. I'm not exactly sure how that was pronounced. And the actual walkthrough here is going to be about maybe 12-13 minutes. So that's actually why I cut it into a few different parts here. We might actually have a part 3, so we'll see how that goes. And we're walking towards the billboards, and there you see the cars going up and down 95. And this is actually the spot about where there was a big Santee outlet sign back in the day, and I've had some pictures of that on my channel in the opening credits through the years of the channel. And that sign came down. I'm not sure if the wind took it down or if a contractor took that sign down. And then you see the rest of the billboards. And here you see, I think we're actually going to see one of the bathrooms maybe. Just absolutely fascinating to see this structure still standing. Yep, one of the bathrooms. No smoking. So please do not smoke. And this outlet mall went down before the days of vaping, so I'm sure this would definitely be a place that there'd be a vape shop. Let's see what else would be here. There'd probably be a thrift shop. I think there was an antique store before this place did close. Some of you have mentioned that to me in some of the comments. This is literally one of the very few signs that are left over, and can't tell what retailer it was. So we're just going to leave that there. Somebody else can have that if they like. We don't like to take things from the property that we visit. Let me go ahead and pause here. I'm going to get a sip of my not piping hot caffeinated beverage. All right, a lot of double doors. It's totally blown out. You see all the siding blown off. Absolutely crazy. Sorry for coughing here. I definitely want to keep the voiceover going. I know that a lot of folks will click away if there isn't a little bit of commentary. Most people have no attention spans today, including myself, by the way. So no disrespect to everybody that doesn't like to watch a 15-minute video, but it's these types of videos, you know, for those of you that have been with the channel for the years. You know, I really appreciate you jumping in the comments. I appreciate you saying hello. There is a shopping cart. I believe that's the only one. I'm not sure how it wound up on the property. But it has definitely seen better days, along with this store. So there we see Gant. So I guess this was the Gant outlet. And I'm not even sure if Gant still exists. Gant was kind of like a cheaper version of like Polo Ralph Lauren, if I'm thinking right. I think it was like a golf brand. I remember it as a kid. And I think it's also one of those brands that you would see at like the Vanity Fair outlets. And somebody also made a comment in the Retail Dead and Alive group on Facebook that this outlet mall and also the one down in Darien, Georgia, you know, these are very common to see. They're actually really not that common, I would say. I think that it just comes down to that they made too many outlet malls. And especially these outlet malls that did not have high-end brands, really weren't able to differentiate themselves. So if you were coming from New Jersey or New York and coming down 95 and going to Florida, you were used to brands like Hilfiger, Nautica, let's see what else, Wedgwood, if you were into glassware, Kitchen Collection, let's see what else, trying to think of some of the other brands that used to be in, like Franklin Mills. And I know it's not Franklin Mills anymore, but that's another place that I used to go with my parents. And there's Eileen. But this place didn't have those higher end brands. So for the northerners that were coming down 95, there wasn't a lot of reason to stop here because there wasn't really great brands. So, and I'm not disrespecting the brands that were here, but it's just the same thing like the Richland Mall in Columbia. They opened up that mall, LJ Hooker opened up that mall with some really high-end stores. Parisian, I can't think of a few of the other ones, but these are brands that nobody needed in South Carolina. You had a lot of folks that didn't make six figures in their household, so there was really no reason to shop at Parisian. You would shop at Kmart, maybe some of the Five and Dimes, and it's kind of the same thing for these outlets. Looking at the sign when we first came in to the mall, and we'll actually see that on part 1. Or maybe part 3, we'll see. There were brands that were middle of the road. Again, not low end, but middle of the road. Bondworth was one of the brands that was here. There was a big Bondworth sign. But we got about another minute and a half. We're going to continue to walk through the overgrowth here and check out another spot or two. Now, this door to the right side is literally holding up that entire I-beam, so definitely not safe. Go ahead, and these animals, they rip the doors off of the hinges. And by animals also, not just human animals, but animals in general, I really didn't see when on the property. So while we were searching for mall rats, outlet mall rats, I actually didn't see any. It's crazy. The times that I've been here, I've actually expected to see animals here, animals inside, raccoons, anything. And I just haven't. So let's go ahead and take a look around. There's actually the sign with the map. Check that out for a moment. The directory. I'd love to have that directory. Now, 9 to 6 and 1:30 to 4 on Sunday. Why even be open? Maybe it was 11:30 to 4. And here you see actually some of the brick facade literally just falling down. My apologies for coughing here. I usually like to do the voiceovers just all the way through on all of my videos. I don't like to edit stuff and take time to do that. There's really no sense. It's not like tens of thousands of people are watching my videos. It's just a fun hobby, and I'm always glad for everybody that joins me in the comments. Also, shout out to Sleeve. I think Sleeve finally got his first payment from YouTube. He left a video or a post on Facebook. But all right, guys, that's part 2. See me in part 1. Bye-bye.